Right, so boys, actually listen, so diving straight into the sort of topics and things that we're going to sort of touch on today. Let me just take AD off the screen.
Bye AD.
It's sort of becoming a weekly occurrence that we talk about some sort of conflict somewhere in the world. And this week it's the turn of the Middle East with Israel and Palestine kicking off. Now, I've done a bit of research on this and I've been watching a few things online, and I actually went to the library, and basically what I can tell is it's China's fault.
Is that what you summarised?
That's what I've summarised. It's China's fault.
And we've just lost the entire China watching this podcast.
Nobody watches it in China. Nobody watches it in England, mate. So nobody's watching it in China.
We're watching it. That's all that matters.
Yeah. But what have we made of what's been going on over?
Well, haven't they just signed a peace treaty?
Ceasefire.
They've done a ceasefire.
Ceasefire, but they both claimed victory.
Yeah,
Have they?
exactly. Yeah,
they both claimed victory.
They're
So
saying
that ceasefire is going to last very long.
The ceasefire. We won.
Yeah,
we won.
We won.
Okay, here's a present for you. Send it.
Yeah. So,
A bit like your challenge at the start. You both draw, so you know. And nobody's commented, so 1 point each, boys.
Can
I get a medal for the point. Can I have a certificate?
Okay, I'll get you a chufty badge.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll wear it next time. Where's our t-shirts?
They're inbound. They are coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. When are you? In fact,
By snail mail.
it's unfair to call Royal Mail snail mail, mate.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, we digress. Oh, this it's a mess. Why does everybody argue? What? Just chill out, people. We're only just over COVID.
How did you get to that summary of China?
Well, I listened to
You're
Donald
just doing
Trump.
the jump.
Just listen to Donald Trump. Donald Trump says that everything's China's fault. So, ergo, Palestine-Israel conflict is Trump's fault. It's China. It's China.
So you're the kind of person that injected yourself with anti-disinfectant, aren't you, to cure COVID? Trump said it's the way forward. Get it in there.
You went for the Astra and got the Dettol.
So,
Well, does anyone actually know what the fighting's about?
Isn't it land?
Yeah.
I thought it's been. Isn't it something like they've been arguing over land for years, and who's got what part of land and
Whose land is it?
Yeah,
that's the question.
But it's been years and years and years and years, and it still hasn't finished. So
here's my summary on it. Right. So the Jews were there as far back as, what they reckon, 900 BC, right? Fast forward, Jesus was born, Jesus died at the hands of the Romans, egged on by the Jews. Roman Empire.
Educational video, I love this.
Yeah. Well, the Roman Empire then sort of came in, took over, and then they basically became Christian. So the Roman Empire became Christian around 300 AD, I think it was. Then the Romans sort of had enough of the Jews, so they basically evicted them in the 5th and the 6th century. Most of them ended up heading to Europe. Fast forward a few hundred years, the rise of the Muslim Caliphate, and then the conquest of Jerusalem. Then we've got the Crusades. Well, the less we say about the Crusades, the better. Then the Ottoman Empire takes over. That's the Turkish Muslims, for anyone that didn't know. They fought against the French. The French then, what was Napoleon? Napoleon then promised to give back Jerusalem to the Jews. Nothing really happened for about 300 years. And then during World War I, you had the Arab uprising against the Ottoman Empire, kicked them out. The British then took over, administrated it for a little bit, and then it was called Mandatory Palestine until 1948 when we gave it back to the Jews. There you go.
Where's China in that?
Well, everything that's in there was made in China.
Made in China.
Therefore, it is the Chinese fault. They've been fighting since 47 to 49 was the first Arab-Israeli war, and they have been fighting this war basically ever since.
53 years.
Yeah.
Did you say 53?
No, I'm just reading that loud. So the occupation of the West Bank, so it's to do with, it's all land, West Bank and the Gaza Strip.
Yeah.
It's just everything. I think people are reading.
Most wars over land. Who owns what?
Yeah. Yes.
But that's the first comment.
That's the first comment till he wins.
And my name's in it, so I win. I'm the winner.
Yeah.
So take your point, stick it.
No, but it is. It's just fighting over whose land it is.
But the problem is, it's never going to end. How can it end? Because they're both.
One side's always going to be unhappy, right?
You know what they need? They need a family court to come in, sit them down,
Judge Judy, whatever it's called,
and basically and have a discussion, and then just make up a random fucking decision like most family courts. I mean, I wouldn't say that about family court. But
that's sort of what the British did in 48.
Yeah, but did it help?
Does it look like it helped?
Exactly. So I'm so glad we're British and we helped.
Just swept it under the carpet for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's it.
So,
but no, there was a ceasefire that they called, but I was just reading there that there was actually another fight broke out today in this so-called ceasefire.
But who agrees the ceasefire?
Hamas and then Israel's politicians.
Yeah, it's all political stuff.
But then that's going to filter down. That's obviously got to filter down, and you've got to tell lots of people not to fight.
Have you seen that Iron Dome bloody thing in action?
Did I send that video to you?
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, you did. You sent it.
In the group chat, like trying to shoot that. Is that the one with shooting the plane down, or was that?
Yeah.
Mad. I wouldn't want to be that plane pilot. I was about to say plane driver. So that's not the right word, is it? Just driving me plane. Yeah. Matt, yeah. It's just crazy. And I'm glad I don't live over there. But flights are cheap. We did look at them.
Yeah, and it is on the green list. So anybody thinking about going on holiday this year, and if you think, do you know what? Portugal, the Canaries, the flights are going to be busy. The hotels are going to be packed. The Germans are going to be stealing all the towels. Head to Israel.
It's a proper adrenaline holiday.
334 quid, 2-week return. Boom.
And you could just buy a one-way ticket because you'd never know.
Yeah, that's what I got told. You may as well just buy a one-way ticket because you ain't coming back.
You wait for the defence system to kick in on a passenger.
So what I thought, lads, you know, I'm sure the Israeli Prime Minister listens to the podcast. So I'm going to put it to you as the question this week. How do we stop the fighting in Gaza? And I want not a serious answer.
Judge Judy. Jeremy Kyle.
Ben and Jerry's.
Ben and Jerry's?
Dish out ice cream, mate. It's hot over there. Everyone just chill out. Just chill. Have some
Sit
cookie
down.
dough.
Everybody have a Ben and Jerry's. Share a spoon.
Exactly. Have some cookie dough, whatever. And just
Whack
chill.
up some Netflix.
Why don't we host a Call of Duty tournament? One team versus the other.
Well, they're doing Call of Duty in real life.
Yeah. You know. I mean, obviously, the Call of Duty tournament that was held a while ago went really smoothly. So.
A bit more of a ceasefire. But no, I think, yeah. What about you, Marco? What do you reckon?
To what?
What's your non-serious answer?
I think what you do, and I think this could work. This is like genuinely. I think this could really work. You get the two biggest, hairiest men. You lube them up.
Oh God, here we go.
You put them in a pool full of KY jelly.
Now you're thinking
And wrestle it out.
I can see why you're happily married.
They wrestle it out until one can't stand anymore, and then the losers have to pack up and leave.
So,
As oddly as
You
it
were just picturing that, Amy, weren't you? You were just picturing that in your head.
The scary part is, Aidy's sitting there going, Martin's big, tubby and hairy. You mentioned him naked earlier.
You've got two guys up there. No, that's a great answer. You've definitely thought of that.
Yeah. I put some thought into that whilst I was in the bath this morning.
I'm just thinking Jeremy Kyle.
Oh, Jezza, lie detector test. Who fired the rockets first? Lie detector.
Jezza back.
Whose land is it? Who's your dad?
What's his guy that brings out the psychologist? What's his name?
Graham.
The lubed up Gaza strip fight sounds like the night I have planned with Martin.
You're sitting there giving it that whole, oh look, Aidy's picturing Martin. You've had this conversation with Ty. Yeah, exactly.
No words.
Where's the product placement?
Speak no words, tell no lies.
No.
So what's the Steve? No, it's not Steve. Oh, Steve's the bouncer off.
It's Graham.
Is it Graham, the psychologist?
Yeah, Graham
Right.
is Graham.
Comes out. So obviously you've got parental issues. So the lie detector test is 100% correct. I never fired him first.
Well, the problem with it though, because we talked about it on that Spoonful of News podcast earlier on in the week, wasn't it, AD? Is that you can't really get a factual take on what's happening because you look at what, like let's say, and I'm not picking them, but let's just say BBC News, they'll tell you one thing that's happened. Then you go to Sky News, they'll tell you another thing that's happening. Then you go to Al Jazeera, they'll tell you something completely different. It's like everywhere you look is telling a different story. There's nobody out there that's just reporting the series of events unfolded and let you make up your mind as to what you want to.
It's been going on for what would you say, 50, 60 years?
Yeah.
So there's so much gone on over that period of time that how do you stop? How do you stop arguing? How do you stop that? Because that's deep rooted into generations of families.
Yeah.
You probably 1, 2, 3, potentially 3 generations of hate, anger, frustration towards somebody that the third generation's like, why actually do we hate you?
Do you know, it's funny, so there was a video online the other day and it's in Gaza and you've got this Arab man walking off with his children, carrying one and holding another in his hand, and he's walking off going, never forget this, you must never forget this, you get your revenge, never forget it. And you're like, that's why it will never end.
Yeah.
Is that this is just constantly drummed into these kids.
You go and ask them and say, what actually are we fighting over? What's the reason? Half of them will be like,
That's on everything, isn't it? It comes to everything. It's all about educating.
Yeah.
Getting people, especially the younger generation now. Like, you should educate. We had this whole thing with like the Black Lives Matter movement. Everything. It's all about education. Oh, his date's going well.
You should be flirting with Dave and not us. Give him attention. Look up into his eyes. So yeah, they're never gonna.
You're right though. You can't just go right. Yeah, okay. Let's just stop. Let's just knock it on the head. It's not going to happen. It will be one of these things that it will sort of dwindle, but it will always be going on, and then we'll just stop reporting on it, and then it'll be flashing up every now and again. There's been another.
But how much land are they arguing over? Like,
it's the West Bank, isn't it? So the Israeli. So do you know the geography of Israel?
I'll say yes for this podcast.
So let's just say this is Israel, right? So you've got Gaza Strip here, and then you've got the West Bank here, and then Israel's got everything in between. And what the Israelis have been doing is sort of building settlements in the West Bank, and then basically kick.
See that? Can you?
There you go. Yeah.
All right.
And they've just been kicking out like Palestinian people that have lived in these houses. There's like a video online, I saw it the other day, where an Israeli just walks into this Palestinian family's garden and he's like, it's my house now. And they were like, get out of my house, this is our house. And he was like, no, this is my house now.
Isn't that what the British did many, many years ago for like most of the world?
the British did that. Yeah, I was going to say to all of the world. Yeah,
Yeah.
India, this is ours now.
Yeah. We'll take all of this.
Well, this is nice. We'll keep this. Thank you.
Yeah.
What's this, tea? Yeah, we did that.